Welcome to the My Brother's Keeper television show, where we ignite a spirit of excellence through mentoring, modeling, and multiplying. I'm thrilled to have you join us on this Tony the Tiger Terrific Tuesday, and it's simply great. But before we dive into today's empowering content, here are a few quick housekeeping rules. If you'd like to join in the conversation, guess what? Our call-in number is 301-429-9247. or simply 301-429-WBGR. Also, don't forget to like and share this broadcast with your network. And for even more inspiring content, head on over to My Brother's Keeper YouTube channel, where you can like and subscribe to stay updated on all of our latest episodes. Let's make today's show remember. Okay, that's going to be a sound that resonates throughout everywhere. Okay, are you registered to vote? Let me know, are you registered to vote? Vote.org, with 69 days until vote November 5th, 2024. Again, that website is vote.org. Unapologetically sorry, but not sorry. We're choosing progress over regression. Why voting for Kamala Harris is crucial in the upcoming November 5th, 2024 elections. A significant portion of Congress seats will be on the ballot, totaling 468 seats across both chambers. This includes the election for approximately 1/3 of the Senate, with 3435 seats available, and all 435 seats in the House of Representatives that will be up for election and re-election. It's important also to highlight this historical context. To date, there have been 12 African American senators in U.S. history, underscoring the ongoing importance of diversity and representation in our electoral process. Can you say with me, ladies and gentlemen, #vote? Also, for our brothers and sisters who are returning citizens and their families engaging in this electoral process, it is crucial. And again, for information on voting rights and specific state regulations, it can be found at vote.org. Check this out. Some states, including Vermont, 99.8% Caucasian, and Idaho, 81% Caucasian, allow individuals to vote even while serving time. This again underscores the varying laws across the country and the importance of understanding our specific voting rights and requirements. So this is why we must vote. So as the 2024 election approaches, it is imperative that every eligible voter understand the weight of their vote. Their voice is their vote. This election isn't just another political exercise. It's a defining moment for our nation. The choice between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump is not just a matter of policy, but a decision about the direction and soul of our country. Vice President Kamala Harris represents the spirit of progress, inclusivity, and resilience. She embodies the struggles and triumphs of countless Americans, particularly those who have been marginalized and overlooked. As a woman of color, Vice President Harris has faced the harsh realities of systemic discrimination, yet she has risen to become a powerful voice for justice. Voting for Harris is not just about electing a candidate, it's about standing with someone who understands the complexities of our lives and who fights for the rights and dignity of all citizens. In stark contrast, Donald Trump's legacy is marked by divisiveness, dishonesty, and disregard for democratic norms. His presidency was riddled with scandals and actions that undermined the very fabric of our democracy, from insulting Gold Star families to disrespecting military traditions. Trump has shown a consistent pattern of behavior that disrespects the sacrifices made by so many for this country. His support of Project 2025, with its regressive policies on education, the environment, and immigration, threatens to roll back decades of progress. Project 2025 aims to reshape America in ways that would hurt the foundations of equality and justice. Under this plan, educational reform could erode public school systems, healthcare could become less accessible to millions, and environmental protections could be stripped away. This plan prioritizes the wealthy and powerful, leaving working class Americans and marginalized communities vulnerable. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, the time is always right to do what is right. In this election, doing what is right means choosing leadership that prioritizes the well-being of all Americans over the interests of the few. It means electing a leader like Vice President Kamala Harris, who is committed to uplifting every voice, regardless of race, gender, or socioeconomic status. In this crucial moment, remember that your vote is your voice. It is your power to shape the future of this nation. Let us use this power wisely and courageously, casting our ballots forces. Vice President Kamala Harris, a leader who stands for justice, equality, and progress. Together, we can ensure that America continues to move forward, not backward. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why we must vote. #vote.org. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the African American Person of the Week? Again, the African American Person for the Week. This African American moment is presented by Angels of Hope, a ministry dedicated to supporting the people, collaborating with community, and cultivating resources. I would like to take this time and moment to recap the DNC, Democratic National Convention. So, the African American moment is going to be about the DNC recap. Did you watch the opening of the DNC? Did you watch the DNC? Hey, listen, what were your thoughts? Check this out. You can definitely give us a call at 301-429-4927. 301-429 WBGR. Definitely, if you want to call in and share your thoughts, definitely take advantage of this opportunity. So here is a brief recap of some of our DNC speakers. I'm excited because it was amazing. I was excited. Did you happen to watch it?
Yes, I watched a little bit of it. Yes, sir.
How did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it. I was actually at my mom's house in North Carolina, and they had it on the TV.
NC State. Yeah. You was watching the DNC in NC.
Yes. So it was good to catch up because honestly, I don't watch too much news, but it was good to watch. You know, that was the night when President Barack Obama and Michelle spoke,
yes.
You know, Kamala's husband came up there and spoke. So it was good to kind of see and get their freshness back up there. Yes. I think they did a really good job on delivering that message. Kind of got everybody rejuvenated again. So I think
Absolutely.
Key. I think my daughter came down. She watched a little bit of it as well. So that was really good for her.
Not Maddie.
Maddie, yes.
Maddie. She watched it too.
She watched a little bit of it too.
Maddie's over there hanging out, guys.
So it was really good to see. Like I said, just to hope everybody tap in and really know how important this election is. I know I do, especially not just for now, but for the future as well.
Absolutely. Okay, let's rock right through this. First speaker that I would like to share with you and just give a recap for is former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. She was resilient. Resolve. Hillary Clinton emphasized the importance of perseverance, advocating for a continuous fight for justice and equality despite setbacks. She called for ongoing relentless reform in healthcare. And I don't know if you guys remember or know that when President Clinton was first elected, it was her healthcare plan that the Senate rejected, but she was able to push it forward with what we now call Obamacare.
Right.
So definitely, it was an important issue for her. the reform in healthcare, women's rights, and environmental policies. She was pushing for a progressive future. She also highlighted the need for resourceful leadership that can adapt, innovate, and lead the nation through challenges. I just thought it was simply awesome, her message. President Bill Clinton, he was simply Bill Clinton. I thought he kind of missed the spotlight a little bit. So he was like kind of like in the mix a little bit, but he's such a conversationalist. And a lot of people thought maybe he was nervous, but that's just Bill's stance. And although he is aged, but he was just a conversationalist, and he just sat and he was just working as Bill works. He worked the crowd, and he just really just he was a conversationalist. He spoke about the power of compassionate communication, urging leaders to listen, understand, and speak with empathy. He also emphasized the need for collaborative change, working together where bipartisan efforts lead to tangible improvements in the lives of all Americans. He also highlighted the importance of courageous commitment to uphold democratic values and fight for the well-being of every citizen, not just Republican or Democrats, but both American citizens. And then we have First Lady Michelle Obama. Man, she rocked the house, did she not?
Yes, she did.
She rocked the house. And she focused on moral motivation, inspiring Americans to act based on integrity, honesty, and empathy. She also highlighted the value of meaningful mentorship, encouraging people to guide and uplift the next generation. She spoke about the mindful movement toward progress, urging thoughtful, deliberate actions in the pursuit of justice and equality. I just simply thought it was simply motivational. It was powerful and as well as informing, and she just captivated the audience. But the most memorable quote was, "Somebody needs to tell Trump that the job that he's applying for just might be a black job." I love it. I love it. And they rocked the house, man. They were tag teaming. And so President Barack Obama, he emphasized the need for persistent progress, advocating for continuous efforts in advancing civil rights, healthcare, and economic stability. So you see, they both were like tag teaming, giving a 1-2 punch. I was just in the room, in my living room, and I was just floored, man. I was just like, it was a freshness. It was just the atmosphere. It was just charged with excitement and newness.
Yes.
And it was like somebody gave me a fresh glass of North Carolina water, from the well. He called for a purposeful participation in democracy, urging citizens to engage actively in shaping the nation's future. He also highlighted the importance of principled politics, where leaders govern with integrity, respect, and a commitment to the common good. This young lady that's coming up, the poet that spoke of the evening, Amanda Gorman. I tell you, that sister, and watching her during the previous election and the youth, but to see her maturity, to see how she has evolved into a young lady, man, it was simply something to watch. And how she spoke and how she projected the message that she shared, the poem that she shared. And she also captivated the audience with her poetic power, using her words to inspire hope, unity, and resilience. She spoke of pioneering potential, encouraging young people to rise to the occasion and shape the future with their creativity and their courage. Her message centered on profound purpose, calling for intentional actions that align with a vision of a just and equitable society. I think she nailed it. She brought it right on home on the national stage.
Yes.
And one that I did not mention that's not written down is our governor of Maryland, Wes Moore.
Yes.
I mean, that brother, he came in, and I just think he's poised for the presidency, for just as President Barack Obama was poised as a Senate when he gave the message at the Democratic National Convention when he was elected, and Kennedy got off his deathbed from brain surgery to connect him with his destiny.
Wow. Man, it's amazing. It's amazing, yeah.
It's powerful, man. Yes. It's powerful to watch and see such movements that happen right under our eyes, and if we don't capture it, we miss it. Yes. You know. So we have Governor Tim Walz, where he came and he spoke, and he emphasized steadfast service, highlighting the importance of leadership grounded in dedication to the people. He advocated for strategic solutions to address economic challenges, healthcare access, and education reform. He called for strong solidarity among citizens and leaders working together to overcome divisions and build a stronger community. I must say that brother, he just came and he just shared, man, with a passion and a uniqueness, even with the fact that how his son responded to him being there, and how the right wing is trying to just really demoralize and demean the fact of a son's love for his father.
Yes, yes.
You know, and I say normalize a son's love for his father, and there's nothing. To me, it's unnormal for a son to not idolize his father. So there you go with that. I'm gonna leave that right there. President Joe Biden, did he speak with strength? Yes. Did he stand 10 toes down? Yes. Did he do the doggone thing? I think he did, man. Yes, he was focused on and determined on a direction. His focused on determined direction, guiding the nation with a clear, unwavering commitment to recovery and renewal. He emphasized the need for decisive leadership that takes bold actions to address the nation's most pressing issues. He spoke of dignified democracy, stressing the importance of restoring faith in democratic institutions and processes. And ladies and gentlemen, the one that came on Thursday night was the end of all, was Vice President Kamala Harris. Vice President Harris embodied historic hope as the first woman of color to hold her position, symbolizing progress and possibility. She emphasized harmonious healing, calling for efforts to mend the divisions with the country through dialogue and unity. Harris, she highlighted honest advocacy, urging leaders to be transparent and accountable while fighting for the rights and dignity of all Americans. In many of all of their messages, let me give you this. In many of their messages, what I feel, my opinion is, I did not hear equity. I heard equality. Equity, equality. The term equity refers to fairness and justice and is distinguished from equality, whereas equality means providing the same to all. Equity means recognizing that we do not all start from the same place and must acknowledge and make adjustment to imbalances. I am asking for equity. The John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act need to pass. I'm asking for equity. As I cast my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris, I'm asking for equity, and I'm doing my grassroots work to elect blue down the line. From our city, local elected officials to our state officials, House of Representatives to our senators, up to the president, let's demand the change we want to see. Let's give Vice President Kamala Harris the tools she needs to sign the bill into law. Before this is over, ladies and gentlemen, as we enter into September, things will get much uglier and nastier. Hold the fort. Whether you want to accept it or not, you are in the fight. Whether you want to vote or not, you're still in the fight. So, I conclude this by saying, if you would like to sponsor an African American moment, please contact us at mybrotherskkeepertv@gmail.com or simply 240-432-5790. 240-432-5790 or mybrotherskkeepertv@gmail.com. Thank you so much for your support and your sponsorship. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? I don't believe you. Are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? All right. Introduction of tonight's guest. I'm excited. I was trying to roll through everything, but I know that I needed to take my time to really share that information with you. But however, I am excited about our guest tonight. We are thrilled to welcome with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Travis Garrison to the My Brother's Keeper television show, an unstoppable force of strength, strategy, and success. From the gritty grind of the basketball court to the resilient resolve of a life transformed, Travis embodies the essence of perseverance and purpose. His journey is a powerful testament to pushing past obstacles and emerging with a newfound wisdom and vision. As we delve into his story, we will explore the challenges, choices, and changes that have shaped him into the man he is today. Prepare to be inspired by the resilience, reflection, and the redemption that define his remarkable path. After this commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back with Mr. Travis Garrison. We'll see you back in 2 and 2.
In 1933, Jesse Mitchell, his friends and business associates came together to do what only a few black entrepreneurs before them had done: establish a new bank to serve their community. Today, under the leadership of his grandson, B. Doyle Mitchell Jr., Industrial Bank has branches in the District of Columbia, Prince George's County, Maryland, Newark, New Jersey, and Harlem, New York, and remains committed to serving and impacting communities.
Bold. It begins in your soul. It moves you, empowers you. It comes from shared knowledge, from community. Bold is born at Bowie State University. It's how we prepare students to break barriers and change the world. It's an affordable, world-class education focused on nurturing those ready to take charge. So bring your bold. Visit Bowie State University today, on campus or online. Bowie State University, taking tomorrow boldly.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the My Brother's Keeper show. And again, we have none other than Mr. Travis Garrison. And we're going to talk about his journey, his story. We're going to get all into it. But I want to know right off the top about your story. Your story. I want to know your story. Our listening audience want to know your story. Can you hand me that right quick? Yeah, right there. Yep. Thank you, sir. We have some people that did comment, so let's get it. Hakeem Jeffries, Trump is like an old boyfriend you broke up with who just won't go away. Thank you, Sister Evangelist Patricia. Yeah, I mean, it feels that way, doesn't it? So, okay, let's move on. So thank you for watching so much. Everyone, thank you for watching. So, I want to know and get plugged into your story. Your story. Give me your story. Talk to me.
I grew up the youngest of 3 boys. Grew up, my mom was a single parent mom. But I grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor, so we was in church every Sunday. My mom was a devoted Christian, so everything was by the Bible, the way we grew up. But she worked many jobs, so we was, kind of grew up, on our own in a sense.
Okay.
My 2 older brothers played basketball, and being the youngest, you want to follow your oldest brothers. So I didn't love the game of basketball too much. I just did it just because my brothers played, and then eventually I became good at it. And then people started to believe in me, and wanted to, get me on their teams and things like that. I grew tall. I was like 6 feet in sixth grade. So I end up.
So how tall are you now?
I'm 6'9".
6'9". Ladies and gentlemen, 6'9". Does he look 6'9" to y'all? Go ahead.
So I was ranked the number 2 8th grade in the country. Then I ended up going to DeMatha. At the time I didn't know what DeMatha was. My oldest brother played at McNamara.
Okay.
He's 9 years older than I am, so I was way young when he was playing there, and I just didn't care for the game of basketball. But ended up going to DeMatha. Was top ranked throughout my high school career. Ended up being a McDonald's All-American. Had a number of schools to choose from to play college basketball at. Ended up choosing to stay home at the University of Maryland.
Okay.
That transition for me, going from high school, kind of being sheltered and going to Maryland right after they won the national championship was a transition I wasn't prepared for because, I think one of the things we talked about before was kind of dealing with success and what comes with it. And I just wasn't prepared for that transition at that time.
Okay, so you wanted to stay home to Maryland, UMBC?
University of Maryland, because my family was here. It was easy access for them to come to the games and, just stay home and get the support of the people from here.
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking, we was going back and forth, and I was like, okay, well, you said 2004.
I came in 2002, right after we won the national championships. I just missed that.
Okay.
And I was there till 2006.
So we were talking, and I was telling you about, of course, embodies.
Yes.
And great, phenomenal. I just think that I don't think that Michael Jordan would have had the career that he would have had embodies still been here and moving through the ranks as well. Because to me, by far, that jump shot, man, I mean, just perfect form and but that's another story. But anyway, I was mentioning to you Johnny Rhodes and X-Free Hip and them brothers, man, they put it in. They put some work in.
Yes, sir.
So definitely, man, you come from that legacy even from the court, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow. So what called a lot? Well, you played professional as well.
Yes,
Tell me about that professional career.
So I had opportunities here in the country to play with a few NBA teams, but choices I made end up, affecting that, off the court choices. That's why I kind of help kids now. Off the court choices that kind of affected, those opportunities for me. So I end up, like I said, I had opportunities here, but I ended up going overseas, playing for about 12 years in different countries overseas.
Wow.
I loved it, actually, learning different cultures and lifestyles and just seeing the world, seeing how big the world is actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just see how certain things just people respond to you and to see, just get a different perspective of everything. How was that?
It was at first it was, I didn't know what to expect, but once I kind of like really took it in and appreciated it, it was amazing. I was going in with that. I was the type of guy that was like closed-minded. I didn't want to try new foods. I was kind of hesitant on things, but one of the countries that really helped me out was Turkey. I was there and. Some of my teammates was forcing me to try different foods, and I was like, no.
What kind of foods?
Like their culture, like their
delicacies, what they would consider delicacies.
Yeah, the traditional food, and then I actually end up loving it. And Turkey's like my second home now. But even like with the languages and things like that, and just picking up on that. So it was, like I said, it was an amazing experience. I learned that I have a lot of friends that's like family now and overseas, and I try to tell kids now when I talk to them that the world is big. You want to make it to the NBA, that's the goal, but understand that you can make the money's green. What I was told, money's green here and over there. So don't pass up that opportunity.
I mean, it's just simply amazing because here you got this young guy that's going and just doing different countries and experiencing life. How did that even influence your outlook on life? When you came back here to America?
It's funny. I talked to a number of people about it. I said I just have a different outlook on things. My perspective is changed in regards to the appreciation that some of the countries I went to that didn't have as much, but they still were so happy and they appreciated life. And I come back here sometimes and just see like sometimes we can take things for granted, and it just seeing things that and not always believing what the media say about different countries and places. It's like. You go over there and you see that some places are like they like the most peaceful people. Like it's more peaceful over here than it is back home. So it was just just seeing that different side of it.
How was the race relations should I say?
It depends what country I was in. So,
Okay.
like, for example, when I was in Ukraine, for example, it was a little different. You know, that Eastern Europe was a little different. So they, you know, but I didn't. It rubbed right off my.
Yeah, I want you to be real with. I mean, you know, the listening audience. I want you to be real with me. So, you know, tell me. I mean, you know, for real, how was that experience? I mean, for you know, a brother being a black man being over in these different countries, were you welcomed?
On the court, they like I'll give you some examples. Like, you know, some places they love you on the court, but they see you out. They're like, "What are you doing here?" Like, look at this black guy, or you know. So I had some of that, you know. And I remember one time I was in Ukraine, and we got up. We was taking the train to another city. And I get out the train, there's this little kid there. It seemed like a little homeless kid, but he was standing there. All the guys came out, and I was like the only black guy on the team at the time. And he kind of like looked at my face. He was just staring, and he kind of like came up to me, like rubbed my face, and he was saying in his language like, "Why does he get that dark stuff on his face?" A lot of these kids, they don't see see us in person, so it's foreign to them. So it was things like that. You know, you run into some situations like that, but sometimes it's not always that either. You know,
how did you process that though?
That I just knowing that, man, that they look at you different in certain places, you know, and I understand that, and you know.
Was this in Turkey or?
No, this is in Ukraine. This is in Ukraine, yeah. So, but also like some places when I was in Turkey, they never seen an actual black person in person, so their only perspective of black people is what they see on the TV screen or the movies or the videos. So they're like, they'll talk to you a certain way, the way they talk on TV, or when they hear in the rap video. So they're like, yo, like they're trying to like relate to you like that. And so until you like meet them and they meet you, they're like, oh, y'all not like what? It's different. Like so, but that is just like.
But that'll teach right there in itself.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll give us a different as African Americans here. It'll give us a different perspective as well to let us know that stop the bojangling.
Yeah.
You know, so that because wherever we go, people see that, and that's the view they have of us.
Exactly. So I was like the American ambassador over there. I used to get hit with like questions about the presidency and what's going on with the policy. I say, look, I don't know. Nothing to do with that. They used to circle me on the bus and like, hey man, so why they doing this and why? I'm like, look, man, I don't know. Like you gotta.
They never asked the white guys.
No, because I was the only black person on the team. The other guys was like locals. Okay. So that was the person that I was the go-to, like when things were going on. Yeah. So you run into that. So
that's interesting, man.
So it's not just basketball. You get hit with a lot of different things, not just on the court, but off the court overseas.
Wow, those stereotypes.
Oh man, it's a lot of good and it's some bad too. But
I'm sure. So I'm sure. As you talk about that experience being over across seas, and even the color being the only black man on that squad and that go-to guy, what would be one of the most challenging situations that you've dealt with? We want to talk about resilience. So as I've talked about resilience and introducing you, I want to talk about resilience now. So the challenges that the most a challenge that you face, the most important challenge that you face, and how did you overcome it?
Oh man, so back when I was in college in 02 to 06, this is before they had psychiatrists and the therapy and people. You only just had your coaches and your trainer. Now they got psychologists and therapists and all that now.
And stress cards. Go ahead.
Yes. But we didn't have that back then. Yeah. So you got to mind you, I'm a kid that was from DeMatha, but mostly I just went from school to home. That was like my routine. But now you in a place where I was the McDonald's All-American. I was the number one player in the area coming into Maryland, so the expectations were super high. I didn't understand the position I was in, you know. So and then a lot of people wanted to come surround themselves around me, want to take me out. Then you got the girls, then you got the party, you have all these different things that I wasn't prepared for. And if you don't had the discipline, you get engulfed inside of it. So my career at Maryland, I wasn't prepared for the expectations that was coming, but also how to handle that either. So I turned to partying all the time and drinking all the time. Like alcohol was a huge thing for me back then, you know, because that was a way for me to get my anxiety down, or I was depressed. I didn't know I didn't know how to talk. I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't talk to my family. I didn't have nobody else to talk to.
And it's society. It's a societal piece too, because again, culture, should I say, as you indoctrinated yourself into that culture, that was cultural, and that's what they did, and so therefore you acclimated yourself to a cultural piece and attached yourself because you saw that's how they dealt with it, and so you just assimilated right on in.
Right, and that was the thing that for me it was like, when I was going through something, I turned to that. That was a way of numbing, not dealing with the reality, because I didn't know how to deal with reality. So either you're depressed, you're going through anxiety. So who do you talk to? Who do you go to? I didn't have any of that. So that's how I dealt with it. But also that's taken away from me being able to perform at my highest level. So every time I thought I was using that as like a medicine, that was actually like bringing me down. Then the choices you make when you're in that situation is not always the best.
Wow.
So that affected my play on the court. And so I wasn't. So for me, going to a lot of people, it was like, oh man, you're only gonna do a year or 2 years in college, and then you go to the NBA. Now it went from me not doing that, going 4 years, and then trying to, all right, I'm gonna get focused and get locked back in, and then get in trouble in college. Then now that takes away from my NBA opportunities. So you work so hard. I tell kids all the time, you work so hard to get to this far place and got so many people supporting you and got behind you, and then you make one poor choice that can affect it all. So that's what you're talking about, that resilience piece. How do you deal with that? That took me years to overcome.
Wow.
And therapy. And being able to like
I'm tracking.
And being able to really face those demons and face like what was really the problem.
What's the root?
What's the root? You know what I mean? But a lot of people never find that because they either hold themselves in, they don't talk to nobody about it, or their pride is in the way, or they just scared to share because of embarrassment or what people may think. And criticize.
That therapy piece is so key. Or we need to really, even as an African American community, is so key, because I would say that deliverance deals with the demons. Therapy addresses the damage.
Right.
And so when you get in the place of therapy, you therapeutically are able to look at the carnage that the demons that possessed and ran rampant and caused you to do things.
Yeah.
But it also causes you to reflect on not so much the demon and the inner me, but the inner me.
Yeah.
And you begin to take control of that thing.
Yeah.
And now you begin to make wise decisions as a result of therapy allowing you to address the damage.
Right. So for me, I grew up, my brothers were hard on me in regards to like, if once I got talented, they was like, we don't quit. Like we don't do that. So you're going to push through. So,
what's that about?
So I was raised like that to prepare me to be great. I wanted to be a great basketball player. So, having to do that to get through life, that's where it translated from basketball to life. Not giving up, not quitting. I learned that from basketball. I was like, man, I can't lose. Plus, I have kids, so I can't quit. I got to bounce back.
So as you're talking about the resilience, but now the reflection, because see, now you bounce back, but you also are able to now reflect upon what basketball has meant. So how it has, from the court to life, how have you transitioned from the court to life? How has basketball played a role in that?
It played a huge role, because I think back for, I have a nonprofit organization called Think First Global, and the whole aspect of the thing
is that .com?
It's .org.
.org.
So thinkfirstglobal.org.
Okay. Thinkfirstglobal.org. Okay.
So basically, my whole point was the whole think first aspect. Okay. That was for me. That was like not just think first it's about your now reaction, but think about how those choices are going to affect your tomorrows, your next year, your future. Not just your future, not just you, but how it can affect your family, your community. I didn't know anything about any of those things. That I was called selfish one time by my coach. And it confused me because I was like the most given person. But then I learned through therapy years later that being selfish is not just it's about you making choices, not understanding how it can affect other people.
Yes.
And once I understood that, I was like, dang, I was super selfish. I was like, man, I was so selfish. Yeah. But now understanding that, now I move differently in regards to the choices I make. I'm still human. I'm not perfect, but I think I play it all the way out.
Yes.
If I make this choice,
Yes.
what is it going to affect, and how is it going to affect everything else?
Many people don't know that that's a process that you must grow into. That you just don't. Okay, I see it. I become it. I am it. So it's a process.
Right.
So even as you write the vision, make it plain. Though it tarry, it will come to pass.
Right.
So now, as you put yourself in a therapeutic capacity, now you're writing the vision, you're writing the hopes, you're writing the dreams, you're writing the expectations, you're even forgiving yourself, and so now you're looking at things, and so it's a time that happens.
Yes.
So the process, so you're allowing the development of the deliverance to process,
Yes.
and so to arrive at that place. So how is it now that how has that played a role to provide, protect, be the priest over the family?
Because I know what my choices can do to other people, and then that's the most painful thing ever. When it happens to you, and I can handle that, but when it affects everybody else, and then it affects the people that you love and care about, that's the hard part. That's the thing that's hard to forgive yourself.
One decision.
Oh man,
could derail
everything, and that's the pain. I had to live with that pain for years.
Say that again. Talk about that one decision that can derail.
I tell student athletes. Then that's when I first started my program, it was really for the athletes, but it's really for everybody. You work so hard for this to get to this place. You got all the support. Your parents take you to practices and things like that. Spending all this money, doing all this and that. And then literally something that can happen for 15 seconds to a minute can derail you for the rest of your life. Now you got social media, so it's even worse. So and then if you're a star or you're elite, they would never let you forget about it.
Wow.
So then you have to deal with all that too. So then so how do you now you see why people are like stressed out, going through mental health problems or suicide, because they can't cope with that because society is so hard on people when they make bad choices, especially those that's in the spotlight. Because they're in the spotlight.
Do you think that you're having experienced what you experienced help prepare you to at this point in on your journey that you're able to now look back, reflect, and speak to the hope that can bring someone else through?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I grew up in the church, learned God, Jesus Christ for myself, but understand that, everything happens for a reason. If he don't want things to happen or a lot of things to happen, it won't happen.
All things work together for the good.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay, if I had to be that sacrifice in the sense of like, you have to, because some of the things I went through and the consequences that came behind that, I'm like, are you serious, God? Like for me, like there's other people out here that's doing X, Y, and Z.
Everything.
But I'm going to get hit like this?
Yeah.
Then I had somebody, but
Wow.
the thing about it is he brings people into your life to kind of like show you, like, so when you're on this journey, he ain't gonna leave you hanging. So you're going through hard times, but he's gonna bring people in either to drop a jewel or to kind of help you lift yourself up out that hole. And that's what exactly. So that's what was happening to me. That's why I was able to like climb through and like to see some type of light or some type of hope. So once I was able to get through it, and guy was like, man, just understand that you had to go through X, Y, and Z because that's where you could be relatable to other people. So now when I speak to kids, they feel the pain, they hear the pain, they hear the passion. So if I never went through anything, I'm trying to talk to them, like, what are you talking about? But now when I talk to them, I'm talking to them from a place
they feel
like,
that compassion.
Man, look here, I've been there. So I'm gonna tell you what's gonna come off these choices that you're gonna make, because I'm very transparent.
That's powerful.
I'm super transparent. I don't hold anything back because I don't want you to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel that type of pain because you may not be strong enough to get through it, or you may not have the support system to help you get through it. Like
what has helped you. It may not be available to them, but it was available to you.
Exactly. But honestly, it comes to a point where when you so off track, where people like, they don't give up hope, but you have people that like, I don't want to touch that. I'm backing off. So now you're alone.
Hold that thought right quick. Dr. Lionel Green, CEO, says great show, and Sister Gwen Jones say good stuff. Okay, well, you know what? Some people don't want to talk about their stuff.
Of course not.
Some people, but I find that in our Christian community, a lot of pastors won't touch certain sins because of the sin that they do, so they don't touch that sin. But I believe if God has called you to it, he'll bring you through it. And so therefore he's calling you to a place of transparency and to become the good news.
Exactly.
If we're the living letters, then open up the book, let the people read the letter and get some deliverance.
I'm gonna tell you. So going through my journey, I was at my lowest of the lowest. I was working at a church. I was doing some work at a church, and then obviously because of who I was, some people knew how I was. They found out some stuff about me, and they ended up letting me go they ended up firing me from the church. Said you're not allowed, you're not welcome here no more. So this is a church, and people that have relationships. This is a church. So now my faith, and this is like one of my lowest points. So now I'm like, these are church people that won't give me a chance. So this is when I'm already at my lowest, and now I feel like church is supposed to be like the place you go, and that's supposed to be like. And then they said basically like
you connect to
you're not allowed in here no more.
Wow.
So now I'm like serious, like so like when I'm trying to my pride is already thrown out, like I'm basically already eating my pride up to make way. But then now I turn to the church and they the ones that say I'm not allowed. So the stuff I had to go through
right there. No, I'm not gonna let you skate through that. I'm not gonna let you get through that point right there. What was the emotion? That right there, that space, when the church, four walls, turned its back on you, after you already at your lowest, and what being a PK and seeking solace and refuge and you're humble in your heart to know that this is the place because that's what I've been told. I've been taught, indoctrinated, and then the church closes the door. Talk to me from that space right there.
Man, it's
real.
Yeah, it was. I ain't gonna lie.
Somebody need to know.
At that time, I was writing a book. So I was writing a book from a place of I was doing a lot of audio, and I was working at the church late at night. So pretty much people wasn't there all the time. So I was able to really lock in and a lot of praying and kind of just a lot of emotions and everything. But it was just like where do you go from here when you're already at your lowest and people it felt like you just keep getting stumped down, you asking for a helping hand but nobody's reaching out to get that to you. So once that happens, you kind of just I was like, you know what, nobody cares anymore. So I was, I come from a church, so I was suicide, I can't go that route because then I leave behind the people I love and care about. So I'm like, what do you do at that point when you can't bow out because you love your family too much? So now that's where that sports mentality came from. Was you know what, cool. Nobody don't have my back. I do this on my own. I have to fight my way back. I'll figure it out.
You gotta go hard in the paint.
I'll figure it out. You know what? It's me against the world type mentality. That was my mentality. I'm gonna bounce back. I don't know how. I'm gonna figure it out, but I'm not gonna let life beat me down like this. That was my mindset.
Okay.
So.
But even at that right there, your mindset in that low, dark place, I mean, that's where diamonds are made.
Right.
That pressure.
Right.
That pressure, that crushing.
Right.
And that pressure is what makes the most beautiful diamonds.
Right. And it's amazing, man. I look at my life now today, and I look back on everything I've been through, and this, the reflection has been amazing. Just, I'm like, man, and I have people, my friends, my close friends, tell me I don't know how you made it through it because I wouldn't be able to do it.
How did you endure the pressure? Because see, okay, just some people say rumper room. I just want to go rumper room.
Yeah.
Can you give it to me, rumper room? When the pressure was crushing you, you didn't realize the diamond that was within, but there was pressure crushing you.
Right.
What made you push and press?
My kids. It was a number of different. My kids for sure. My
Talk
kids.
to me.
And I ain't gonna tie it.
Yes, sir.
Not because she's here right now. But my daughter, it's funny how God uses certain people without them.
We'll
even
give her a shout
that.
out.
And my daughter Maddie right there. No, but she was young, but she would always out walk in the house. And she'd just always come give me a hug around my neck. I love you, Daddy. That was. She was the one that kind of make me. She helped me make it out because without no question, she'd just always come up to me and just hug my neck. I love you, Daddy. I love you. So I'm like, how can I leave that? And then it was you know what? That's what I said. I worked so hard I worked my butt off to be an elite athlete. Mm-hmm. I made it super high. I was super successful mm-hmm. at a certain point in my life. It wasn't because nobody gave me anything. It's because I worked my butt off, and a lot of times I did it on my own.
Okay.
You know, I had some support, but a lot of times it was my mentality that got me to a certain point. So now I said, let me just use that mentality to life. I'm still here, God. I'm still alive. Mm-hmm. So therefore, I'm here for a reason.
Yes, sir.
I'm here for a reason. Yes, so therefore, He has something for me. Mm-hmm. I believe that. Mm-hmm. So I have to just listen closely to what He's giving me and showing me and take that in, and then start moving a certain way and like figure it out, you know.
Wow. And so I guess what I was trying to really extract is the whole essence of the diamond. And the pressure, and you talked about Maddie and the encouragement and the hope that she gave, and for you to endure the pressure. So, but the diamond goes through 3 processes, and so after it goes through the pressure, then it goes through the fire. So therefore you begin to continue to be transformed to that next place, and that fire is the processes of some of the decisions that you've made. So as you sit in it, it begins to continue to burn you. So I see now, brother, let me tell you something, man. I see the shine, but see, you can't get the shine without the pressure and the fire. But the last step is the cutting.
I talked to my dad about. I asked him because, you know, choices he made in his past.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. This is just getting a little exciting over here. So just to see and bear witness to real life testimony, it's real. It bears witness. So that's what causes the excitement and wow.
Yeah. So I used to ask my dad one time. I'm like, the choices you made, because I see it still bothering him, but he was a praying man. I always locked in. Like I know that. So I'm like, but I see that his past choices affect him even to this day. And I say, like, Dad, like, does it ever go away? I remember asking that years ago. I said, does that pain or that feeling or that forgiveness, does it ever go away? He said, it's that thorn on your side. God got to remind you. It's that reminder. God,
go ahead, Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
God got to remind you sometimes before you won't relapse. So it's going. And I still get that reminder to the day about choices I made years ago. I still get reminded about that, and it's something like. And if you don't have tough skin, it's hard to really.
You talking, Doc? You talking? Go ahead, man.
But like seriously, like if you're not tough enough or strong enough, and those past choices, because that's why it goes back to the point of thinking first and helping these kids now. That's why I'm so passionate about doing it now, because these choices that you make today, it will follow you, and sometimes it will crush you, and sometimes the world would, or society would never let you forget that. And if you're not strong enough. That's why you see a lot of people out here strung out on drugs, or they don't make it or commit suicide because they can't deal with the constant failures and the constant people reminding you of. Even if you change and you change your whole ways, but you have people that's never going to forgive you and always going to remind you of the bad choices you made.
As you stated, right there, stay right there. The thorn. Thorns are attached to roses. Roses are beautiful, fragrance, beauty. But if we're not careful, we'll get pricked by the thorn. Brother, I see the beauty in your heart and in your spirit, and also understanding that you have the thorn. Your love that you have for people will not allow you to prick them with your thorn, but to show them the beauty of God. That's on a whole nother level there, Doc.
Right.
That's on a whole nother level. But you love them enough to see the beauty of God, to release through the rose a fragrance every day. But they'll know that a thorn is attached to a rose, but you won't prick them. And that's a choice. That's a choice.
Absolutely.
But sometimes we've been pricking people with our thorn. Hurting people with our thorn. We got to know and get in a space to know how to learn how to cover our thorn so that we can show them the beauty of God. How were you able to show them the beauty and not prick them with your thorn? This took on a conversation all by itself.
It goes back to that thorn in my side reminded me of the pain that I felt after hurting people off the choices I made. That was one of them. And then me knowing that the responsibility I have now that I didn't know I had when I played basketball. I didn't understand the responsibility I had and the role model I was at that time. I didn't know that. I know where I'm at now and my position now and the people that support me now. So now it's on a whole different level. Now the choices I make gonna falter everything, the whole foundation that's going to precede me when I pass away. The thing I'm building right now, that's how I'm able to get through. That's why I'm able to get through everything I'm getting through right now because I know it's a bigger play at hand. And I know that the job that he has for me is bigger than anything else. So that's why I'm able to keep rising through. And people keep reminding me of the choices I made. When all those things keep coming back up, I got to keep going through it because it's a bigger play at hand. When I'm dead and gone and they stop reminding me of that, what I laid down, the foundation I laid is going to be bigger than just me. It's going to be for my kids. It's going to be for other people's kids. It's going to be for other people. So that's why I'm able to like fight through and everything. I can endure that. I've been through way worse. So I know nothing can phase me.
So you playing with house money, man.
Oh, man.
You playing with house money.
Man,
it doesn't bother you, though.
Man, it used to tear me down. It used to take me back and I used to crawl under the. But now I'm like, nah, keep it.
It is what it is.
Look, if you're not physically trying to kill me, I can handle it. You know what I mean? I have to handle it. You know what I mean? So, and I'm here to win. I'm here to win at the game of life, and that means just getting through adversity. It's not going to be easy, and I know that when you get attacked is because you have something that they want to steal. So I look at things from a spiritual standpoint of view, and then also I see the bigger play at hand. I see when people are coming at me in different ways, I think about the support system I have around me and why they support me and what they see. So, I see the bigger play. So you're going to get distractions. People the best of the best get distracted all the time. So it's the strong mind that lasts and that still make it through. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm able to keep going and think about the bigger thing at hand. And, I know I see as God already showed me what's ahead. Yeah. So is that so that's why I'm like
you got to have the relationship to know what you see, and so the next part of that diamond going through that process, I will say, is that it's been cut, and so as the diamond is cut, I just want to submit to you that life can't cut you no more, because it's already been cut. Hold on. Hold on. Did you catch that? Life cannot cut you anymore because you've already been in the pressure, you've been through the fire, and life has cut. The jeweler, the chief jeweler, has already cut you. Right. So all you could do, brother, is shine wherever he puts you, wherever he places you. All you could do is shine from here on out. Like life cannot handle and give you anything that can break you.
Right, absolutely.
Because you've already been through the process.
Exactly.
You've been authenticated.
Absolutely, and I feel that because there's been certain things that happened that if it happened years ago, I would have folded. But now I'm like, it happens. I'm like, I look at it total. I'm like, I tell people all the time. I had friends that I kind of going through the journey with, and it's like I tell people it's like going to the gym. When you can go to the gym and you small and you get hit with a blow, it's gonna knock you down. It's gonna knock you out. Sometimes it's hard to get back up from, but you get up. But once you start going to the gym, you start working out more and more. You start getting stronger. So when you get hit, you're still gonna feel it because you're human. You're gonna feel getting touched.
Absolutely.
But it's not gonna hurt you as much as it did before because you went to that gym. Whether it's a spiritual gym, whether you reading your Bible more, when you getting
stretch.
You know what I mean? So it's building that strength up. And once you build that strength up, you're still gonna get hit. Don't get it twisted. Like nobody's gonna live this life trying to achieve something, a big dream, a goal, whatever it is, and not get hit. But it's how you handle that hit, and are you prepared for that hit? It's like when you walk into the house, like wearing the body armor of God. I mean, stuff like that. So it's all that type of stuff. Mentally, you have to be mentally strong, physically strong, and just locked in. And when you locked in like that, you're going to get attacked. That's just because the enemy's going to come after you because he don't want you to get to where God's taking you. He don't. So
he's gonna throw. He's gonna throw. He's throwing them.
He's gonna throw, and it's gonna get hard as you climb more higher and higher. He's gonna come with more stuff.
But you can be self-assured to know that what you have experienced is added value to where you're going.
Right.
So as you go to that next space, that what you're taking with you is added strength.
Right.
And you've added to your faith.
Yeah. Yeah, so and I'm, like I said, right now I'm grateful for the team and the people that I have around me and the support system and the reminders I have of not to go backwards.
And that's what My Brother's Keeper is about. My Brother's Keeper is about, locking in, as you stated, with other brothers with a common interest so that we're able to empower, to edify, and to educate one another. Right. So it's like, wait a minute, whoa, that's what this is about. So therefore, we're always pulling one another up, holding one another accountable. Over the past weekend, I was able to see a movie. And the movie was Forge. I heard that thing blew my mind. I'm not even going to give you a spoiler alert. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even going to be... he took on the characteristics. Sister Patricia, Evangelist Patricia Denise said, you took on the characteristics, brother. So you took on the characteristics, and she says, we won, or we win. Yes. So, but the movie over the past weekend, man, was, I'm trying not to get into it, but one quote that the older brother told the younger brother, he said, be the fountain and not the drain. I knew in the movie theater, hey, bro, listen, Travis, I was over there rocking like this, bro. you know, like I'm in service, man, and my pastor preaching. I'm just in there rocking, man, because he said, be the fountain not the drain.
Man, that's powerful.
I said, good God Almighty, because we always, taking, sucking, and we're the drain. We're draining wherever we go. But when we understand what this discipline thing is about, we begin to overflow in our relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go see the movie, man.
Yeah, now I'm definitely going to see it.
Man, go see the movie, man. It's going to bless your socks off. And call me.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you see it, call me.
Absolutely.
If you can, take a few brothers with you and experience that, man, because it was powerful. Right. I'll just share this. When I left the theater, I had to go home and sit and look at my own sword that I have on my wall.
Wow. Man.
I'm going to leave it right there. Yeah. But when you see the movie, you'll understand when I say sword. And so therefore, I do have a King David sword, and it's powerful, and it's like, but the essence of it, I didn't get it. Yeah. The revelation of it, woo! Yeah. It blessed me. I'm trying not to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you see it, call me. Then you'll be like, hey, I'll just hold the phone and let you talk, bro.
Absolutely.
So, but when you get an opportunity, I want you to go and definitely experience the Forge, and definitely take a few younger brothers and go with some brothers and have that experience. You won't regret it.
Absolutely.
You will not regret it. So at this point, I know it's almost 8:30, and so this could go on and on and on, man. Thank you so much for trusting me with your story.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. And is there anything else you would like to share with our listening audience?
I guess as you go through life, as you chase your dreams, as you chase your goals, and you go after things, just understand why you're doing it. What's your why? Why you're doing it, and just get through the adversity. Adversity is going to come. It's not going to be a smooth sailing. It's not going to be nothing. You're going to have your ups and downs. But if you can remind yourself of why you're doing it, then you're going to get through it. And always think first. Don't think just about the reaction to your now choices, but think about how it's going to affect your future, and not just that, how it's going to affect your family and your community. So think about the bigger picture. Don't be selfish. Just think about yourself, but think about how your choices can affect everyone else as well.
And that is definitely powerful, and I thank you so much. And how can the people reach you?
They can go to my website, is www.thinkfirstglobal.org, or they can email me at travis@thinkfirstglobal.org.
Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as our time together ends, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude for you joining us today. Remember, the journey to greatness is not a solo endeavor, but one shared with those who uplift and inspire us. Surround yourself with people whose eyes light up when they see you. Remember that progress is often achieved through steady perseverance. And lastly, the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. So keep climbing. Tune in next week for another electrifying episode of My Brother's Keeper every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on WBGR TV. I'm Pastor Michael Green. Have a winning week, everyone. Good night.
Yes, I'm talking to you with all that melanin poppin'. Listen, I know there are a lot of misconceptions out there about ancestry tests, and we'd like you to get to know us. We're African Ancestry, and we are the only ancestry company designed by Black people, for Black people. The only ancestry company that can provide the actual African country of origin and ethnic group. Founded in 2003 by Dr. Rick Kittles.
Hello.
And Dr. Gina Page.
Hi there.
With over 30,000 samples, African Ancestry has the largest and most comprehensive database of DNA of African lineages. I'm talking Yoruba, Ashanti, Mende, Fong, and more. They can't do it, they can't do it, and they can't do it. Sure, they can tell you you're from Africa. Africa. The 54 countries that make up 11,677,239 square miles of one of the Earth's largest continents, Africa. Africa. But if others can know that they're from Ireland, England, Spain, or Sweden, shouldn't you be able to trace your roots to a specific country and tribe? Shouldn't you be able to connect to the beliefs, practices, and customs of your people? How powerful would that be? And unlike those guys, African Ancestry never researches, sells, or shares your DNA. We destroy it. In other words, we're only using your DNA to tell you where you're from, and we won't tell anyone else about you either. I see you thinking over there. To find your tribe and discover who you truly are, take the right test. Go to AfricanAncestry.com.